what you feel. This magic's more than now. Everything is going and I do know how. I will stop to remember what I ought to know. I will stop to remember, I will tell you so. Everything is magical anyway. Everything is magical anyway. Everything is magical, so I say, so I say, so I say, so I say, so I say. Choco, 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 choco. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up. Wake up sleeping soul, wake up sleeping soul, wake up.
Hello and welcome to the Unity Center of New York City. Whether you're local here in New York City or in another city, another state, another country, we're glad you're joining us today. I'm Justin Epstein, the senior minister and author of the top-selling book, Super You. We got a great service for you today. We have Answer the Muse, Jonathan and Jai. Everything is magical, they just reminded us. And also we have Jami Lula. And we have a special guest speaker, a friend of mine who is a wonderful guy, Jeffrey Lipsuis, is going to be speaking today. And next, we're going to do a little singing. So if you would please join us in singing. Jami will lead us in We Are the Harvest.
The ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. 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 We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Come on. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap.
Few community highlights for you. We are recording from the Unity Center of New York City, and but we don't have people here yet, just those good folks who are helping us record the service, but we'll let you know when it's time. We miss you guys, those of you who are local. It's been a long time, hasn't it? But we're happy we can connect at least online. So if you're not involved in social media, feel free to get involved, because it's one way we can interact some if you want to. It's great to hear your comments and your feedback and so on. If you're not receiving our weekly newsletter and you'd like to know what's coming up with the Unity Center and when we're going to be meeting live or just upcoming speakers or whatever's happening, then go to unitycenternyc.com and subscribe to our newsletter. Then you'll start receiving into your inbox the newsletter, and we'll keep you abreast of what's happening. Also, please like us on Facebook. When you like us on Facebook, then we're able to reach more people. Not only can we reach more people, but we will actually give you reminders. Reminders. Justin's going live on Facebook. You know, those kind of reminders. Like, I do 2 mindful moments a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 o'clock and a guided meditation on Wednesday. And we'll give you a reminder when you like us on Facebook. We'll also let you know about Sundays. So please go ahead and like us. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed yet, when you subscribe by pushing that button, see it flash across your screen? By pushing that button, you will have access to a whole library of inspirational videos. You can watch those at any time, any place. It's all up to you. And all you got to do is subscribe. That beautiful red button that you see on your screen. Remember, next week, we've got a time change. Next Sunday, fall back. Clocks turn back 1 hour. What does that mean? It means you go to bed at 10. You know what? I'm not even going to try to figure that out. Just change your clock before you go to bed. Clock falls back. And today we have, as I mentioned in the opening, guest speaker Jeffrey Lipsuis, who's going to be leading the meditation today, as well as giving the message. So that's exciting, and we're going to get ready for that shortly. But I would like us now to have our prosperity celebration. This is a time where we acknowledge God as our source. Can you think of some good in your life right now? What is some good that you're grateful for in your life right now? Is it a family member? Is it a friend? Is it a child? Is it the gift of life itself? Well, during this time, we acknowledge God as the source of all good. We acknowledge Spirit as the wonderful source of life itself. And we participate in that spiritual law of giving. This is an opportunity to support our work as well as to activate that law of giving in our life. So we invite you to bring to mind the gift that you'd like to give today, and we're going to bless that gift, because in the very giving is a receiving. The Wayshore said, as you give, you receive. In the very giving itself, we're releasing a greater flow from within ourselves. We're putting ourselves in alignment with that universal, it's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Spirit is constantly giving, and as a spiritual being, our nature is also to give. So when we engage in giving, we are receiving more of a flow from the inside out. And when you give to Unity Center, we know you have a lot of places you can be giving. It helps us to continue the work that we're doing and also to do more and to reach more and to bring greater value to you and to other people, to fulfill our vision, global spiritual enlightenment. So let's take a moment now and ask the Spirit within you what your gift is to the Unity Center to support Spirit's work through us. And let's bless those gifts, knowing divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Amen.
You'll recognize this one for sure. Join us for the whole song or just sing with us at the chorus, whatever you'd like.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be.
I'll start this meditation off with a little anecdote. I was reading a little story to my granddaughter. It was a Dr. Seuss book, and it actually had a pretty profound message, I thought. So I'll start off the meditation just sharing a little bit about what I saw. It's called Horton Meets a Who, or Horton Hears a Who. And it's about this elephant. He's walking around in the jungle. And because he has such big ears and such acute hearing, on this leaf, he hears like a little colony of almost microscopic creatures. And they're asking for help. And they needed Horton's help. And he was the only one that could hear. And this whole drama happens, and he helps them out. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because if we listen very closely, They're very still. There's something that we could hear. There's something that we could get in touch with that perhaps we would miss during our busy day. And I just thought that book really captured it nicely. So what I'd like to do today is just have us be still and listen very carefully and get in touch with something that we typically don't take time out to really notice. And it's our breath. So let's all shut our eyes and just get in touch with the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. The breath is like a swing. When you breathe in, the swing rises. And when you breathe out, the swing falls. Let's take a moment to just get in touch with the breath rising like a swing and falling, only to rise again. Now, the swing is one toy that children never tire of. My daughter got lots of toys. She would always get tired of them, except for the swing, because there's something exhilarating about the movement, even though it's the most repetitious of all the things somebody could possibly play with. But that feeling of exhilaration, going up and then dropping, is really just entertaining in itself. And it's there in every breath if you're still enough and listen closely enough. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you breathe out, the breath stops in order to begin breathing in again. Where that breath stops on the out breath, it's not up to you. The breath decides. What I want you to do is just get in touch with where the out breath stops and how you relinquish control of where that out breath stops. It's just going to choose where it stops on its own. Noticing how the out-breath decides when it's going to stop. Not you. Just surrendering to that point where the out-breath chooses to stop in order to breathe in again. Imagine that in-breath takes you to the top of a hill, only to slide down in a toboggan. The in-breath, take an in-breath, let it settle at the top of the hill, and then release and take you on a ride down the hill until the toboggan decides to stop. Now, as your toboggan goes back up the hill and stops at the top, you breathe down and ride the slope of the hill. You go into a fog bank and you can't see where you're going down, but you could feel the toboggan moving, and you could feel when it stops before it starts back up again to the top of the hill. Releasing the breath, toboggan goes down the hill, down the slope, into the fog bank. Can't see where you're going. Stops when it decides to stop. And just using feeling, feel it go back up the hill. If you really relax as you release your breath, you notice perhaps you go a little bit further down the hill before the toboggan stops. Breathing in again to the top of the hill. Breathe out completely relaxed. Down the hill, into the fog bank. Can't see, but just by feeling, you could feel where the toboggan stops. And maybe this time, it went down just a little bit further. Breathing in, back up the hill again. Breathing out, feeling the slope as you go down into the fog bank. Can't see anything, completely relaxed, and you go a little bit further. Then you take that in-breath, and the toboggan takes you down the slope again into the fog bank, feeling the slope, relaxed. It takes you for a ride off the ski jump into the canyon below, floating into the canyon until the toboggan softly lands on a new slope below. Goes down the slope, off another ski jump, into the canyon, feeling the freedom, and softly landing on a new slope.
In my eyes, in my mind, in my heart and soul, in my life, I have been searching for something but you're my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you as me. Oh, light-di-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di-di. Light-di-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di-di. You're always there, you never leave, you're holding me, you set me free. You're your guiding light, your empathy, your confidence to express in and as me. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you as me. Oh, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di. And all the angels sang, light-di-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di. You're perfect, golden light, my love. You're perfect, golden light, my love.
Our guest speaker today is Jeffrey Lipsuis. Jeffrey is a friend of mine who I met through the teachings of Timothy Galway. Some of you know that one of the first spiritual books I ever read was The Inner Game of Golf by Timothy Galway. Well, this is one of the things Jeff and I have in common. Many, many years ago, about 50 years ago, he was playing tennis, serious tennis player, and he wanted to help his mental game with tennis. He started meditation, he started doing yoga, and then he came across Timothy Galway's book, The Inner Game of Tennis. And he learned that there were principles that he could apply to tennis having to do with the mental game, the inner side of sports. And as a spiritual person or a person of consciousness, you understand that everything starts from within out. And like Jeff, I also learned at an early age that the mind was important in sports. And that made me realize, oh, so if it's important in sports, it must be important in other areas of life as well. So Jeff has been meditating for 50 years on a daily basis. That's a part of his life. He's a person who's dedicated to growth and development and knowing this presence that is within. And he's been, not only did he begin learning the inner game principles as a young man, but he is a teacher of those inner game principles and has taught workshops with Timothy Galway. In fact, Jeff helped make it possible for me this summer to play a round of golf with Timothy Galway and to become a friend with Timothy. So I know Jeff to be a warm, compassionate, and very wise person, and a person who has a lot of experience in the world as well, because he has taught hundreds of people the inner game principles and how to apply it to selling. He's the author of the book, Selling to the Point, which I've read, by the way, before I even met Jeff. In fact, it was the book why I reached out to him in the first place. Selling to the Point is a very unique book where it applies inner game principles and really puts you in the position of the customer. You become a coach, a decision coach for the customer, not somebody who's trying to get something from somebody, but it's a book of service, how to help someone make a decision that's in their best interest. So I really, as you can tell, I really like Jeff, and I know he's got a message for you today that can help transform your life. So welcome, Jeff Lipsuis.
Many years ago, I was taking a SAT training course many years ago. And one of the instructions that they gave me really stuck with me over the years. And I want to use it as a theme of what I'd like to talk with you about today. And it was, when you're not sure of an answer and you put it down, like, for example, B, you decide it's going to be B, and then you start to have your doubts and you want to change your answer. They tell you, don't. Go with your first instinct, because if you think about it and go back and change it, it's probably wrong. And you were right the first time. Now, this sounded counterintuitive to me, because it seems like if you do something and then think about it and decide that, well, I really should have done it differently, and make a change, that it's going to be a better answer. And it's really not. There's other examples in our lives I'm sure we've had where we have some kind of inclination or idea to do something a certain way. And the experts try to dissuade us. They tell us, no, this isn't the way to do it. And, perhaps we go with our initial conviction and just tell them this is the way I'm doing it. Other times the experts may prevail and convince us to go a different route. Lo and behold, several years later, we find out that we should have gone with our initial instinct in the first place. As happened with me in the vitamin business, I was in a financial firm and doing quite well, and I decided to quit back in the 70s and go into the vitamin business, which was a very small business. It was risky, and I just thought they had the right idea about staying healthy by eating the right foods and taking supplements. At the time in the 70s, doctors were more into just, well, come and see me when you feel sick and then we'll do something about it. They really weren't into healthy lifestyle. And then the 80s and 90s roll around and more research came out. And the doctors now, if I go to a doctor, they say, oh yeah, what's your diet like? Are you taking any supplements? You need to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Now they're all bought in. But back in the 70s, people, I would tell them I'm in the vitamin business, and they would say, oh, well, vitamins, I hear they're a waste. And I just stuck with it. And years later, actually, it turns out that my original inclination was correct. And this is gratifying when this happens, that you had a conviction that you just felt in your heart. And in spite of the headwinds or experts trying to tell you to do things a certain way, you decide to follow your own path. And it worked out very well. And the reason I'm bringing this up today is because there's a very, very important initial instinct that we have. And what I want to do is invite you today to stick with it in spite of what all the experts say. Now, what is that? It's the unconditional joy that we feel as infants being alive. We all have it. We're all born into this world. And in the very beginning, life it's this new thing. You see infants, when they get happy, they just fill up. And I have a little granddaughter. She's 2 right now. And the joy, you can see she's like always in a good mood, unless there's a reason for her not to be. Otherwise, she's really always happy. And I think to myself, it's like they act as if they know they were the best swimmer in their group. Millions of other swimmers that were potentially their brothers and sisters, but they got to the finish line first and out of millions. And their big prize is life, existence. And they're really celebrating. They really feel like this is really quite a gift that I've been given for winning this race. And they don't need much. They can't walk, they can't talk, don't even know what their name is yet. Don't know if their mom or dad is rich or poor. And they know how to be happy without any of these things. If we were in that situation, we couldn't walk or talk or something, that'd be horrible. We'd be very unhappy about that. But babies don't really care. they're fine. Yeah. Clean diaper, little food, little love, and it's okay. Now, the mom and dad, they might be stressed out about finances or things. I mean, the baby has this wisdom of how to be truly happy without very much at all. The mother and father have a lot more. They know a lot more. They have a lot of information. But they might be anything but happy. Could be taking Adderall because of the anxiety that they're feeling about all these different situations they're in. Baby doesn't know from that. And we all have experienced that firsthand. That was us. All of us. And there's a challenge. There's experts that are trying to dissuade us from feeling this joy. We get a little older and somebody says, oh, well, maybe you would be even happier if you had this toy. Or maybe you would be even happier if you had this pretty dress. It starts out fairly innocently, but then it starts to get really complicated. I mean, maybe you'll be happy if you had more than anyone else you know. Then it gets really complicated. When happiness becomes conditional and we need things to be a certain way before we can get happy, very quickly gets out of hand. Well, we can never really be happy because we could never manipulate the circumstances to be just the way they want them. There's always going to be someone that has more than we do. And our happiness becomes very hard, very elusive as we assign more conditions to it. And what I'm saying here is that we never really lost it. Us, who we are, is the same as we were infants, as we are now. That part of us is still there that felt happiness with very little. It's just camouflaged by all these other meanings we assign to happiness now. But it hasn't completely left. It can be rediscovered. So the experts and society, there's like a hidden agenda. I mean, when you become convinced that happiness is conditional and you need to rely on somebody else to give you those conditions in order to be happy, then you could be controlled. Then somebody could ask you to pay money. Somebody could expect you to conduct yourself in a certain way. And you feel you need to do that in order to maintain your joy inside, your happiness, feeling fulfilled. And I know I've been on this path for many decades of pursuing unconditional joy, unconditional happiness. And a lot of people, it's very actually confronting to them. If I say to somebody, I really don't need your approval to feel good about myself, a lot of people don't like that, because then they don't have the kind of control. They can't put you in a box. They don't know what to do. They feel a little disoriented. Here's some guy I could be any way I want, and he's not going to judge me, but at the same time, I'm not going to require them to think of me in a certain way in order to be happy. It's kind of different. Even our society, in the use of the words, of the languaging, really doesn't know about this unconditional happiness. It's just not in our lingo. Like if we said the word life, the way we use the word life, it's actually now a homonym. It's got two meanings. If somebody says to me, "Hey, Jeff, how's life?" And I might say back to them, "Oh, it's good. Yeah, just got a new job. I'm really happy with it. So I relocated, moved into this nice house, and we're decorating, and it's coming out really good." That would be a typical answer, talking about the conditions, not really talking about life. Because if somebody said to me, "Hey, Jeff, how's life?" And I say to them, "I'm really upset right now because my neighbor, who's a very good friend, just got in a horrible motorcycle accident and he's clinging to life." Now that's a different meaning to the word life. Now I'm talking about life as in existence, not the conditions. So which of the two are more important? Life existence, or life, the conditions, the things that we do, how things are going? Obviously, life existence, because without existence, we wouldn't be able to enjoy any of the things, any of the conditions that we work so hard to achieve to be able to enjoy life. We need existence for that to happen. So if we wanted to be micro-accurate, you could say, people don't say this, but you could say, "Oh, courtesy of life, I got a new job. And courtesy of life, I moved into a new house that I like. And courtesy of life, it's being redecorated and it's really coming out well." Nobody says that. It'd be redundant. But how do you feel? Do you feel in your day-to-day, moment-to-moment experience the appreciation for life itself by which all the other things we enjoy can happen? Or is our experience day-to-day more about the conditions? And you answer that for yourself. I'll answer it for myself. But it's there. That joy of life has never left. And we think we have to find it or go do something. But since it's always with us, we'll never find it by searching it out. If I have my driver's license in my wallet right where it belongs, but I think I lost it, no matter where I look, I'm never going to find it because it's right where it should be in the first place. And if we're putting conditions on our happiness, it's going to elude us. So what I want to say is that we have this chance every moment is another opportunity to make a choice where this appreciation, this joy, what priority it has in our day-to-day consciousness. Is it high priority, low priority? Every moment provides another choice. And the next moment, there's another choice. And it's completely up to us. We don't have to pay anything. We don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to please anyone. Right here, anytime we choose, we can appreciate that bliss that we've already had, that we already know, anytime we choose. And that's all I have to share today. Because really, what more is there? So thank you very much.
special thank you to Jeffrey Lipsuis for that profound message. Thank you so much, Jeff. I know that people are going to be blessed by that message as they apply it to their life. Thank you to Jonathan and Jai Hari Meyerhoff from Answer the Muse. Always great to have them on with us. And also Jami Lula. That was his first time with us today. Thank you so much, Jami. Special thanks to Lucid Studios and Perpetual Wave Productions for their work helping us to bring this service to you every week into your home. Thank you all for your help in that. Thank you to Stephen LeHue, who's one of the members of our center. He's the music coordinator, and he helps bring in wonderful musicians like we've had today. Thank you to Justin Morley, who's behind the camera right here in the studio, and to Debbie Mullinax, our operations manager, who's involved in all things operational. And now let us join together in saying the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yea, God. Again, thanks for being with us today, and we hope to see you next time for another Unity Center of New York City live stream service. Let's now join together and sing the peace song led by Jami Lula.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it be